The notification popped up at 11:47 p.m. And I know before I even unlocked my phone that whatever it was had already crossed the line. Because no good story ever starts with your boss texting you that late. The message was short, too short. We need to talk tomorrow in my office. No emoji, no context, no soft landing. I stared at the screen, my heart doing that annoying thing where it tries to sprint while your body stays frozen. I ran through every possible mistake I could have made that week. Missed deadline, number, bad client call, unlikely, accidentally send a meme to the wrong Slack channel, maybe. But none of those explained the tightness in my chest, because deep down, I already suspected the truth. This wasn't about work, this was about the dating profile. Let me back up. My life had become painfully predictable in the way that sneaks up on you. Not tragic, not exciting, just a broken bar beige. Wake up, commute, design drafts, meetings where everyone pretends to care more than they do. Commute back, microwave dinner, scroll until sleep wins. I was good at my job, quietly good, the kind of good that keeps you employed but invisible. My coworkers liked me, but nobody relied on me emotionally. I didn't cause problems, I didn't create waves, I existed neatly between expectations. And then there was my boss. She was the opposite of invisible. She didn't dominate rooms with volume or ego. She did it with precision, every word measured, every pause intentional. When she spoke, people leaned in, not because she demanded attention, but because she earned it. She was composed to the point of mystery. No office gossip, no personal oversharing, no cracks in the armor. If there was a private life behind her calm authority, none of us had ever seen it. Which is why the day she asked me for help felt surreal. It happened on a Thursday afternoon, the kind where the office feels heavy and everyone's counting minutes. She stopped by my desk, and not hovering, not rushing, and said, "Do you have a minute?" I followed her into her office, expecting feedback or a new assignment. Instead, she closed the door and sighed. Not a dramatic sigh, a tired one. "I need help with something," she said, "and it's not work-related." That alone was shocking. She hesitated, just briefly, like she was calculating risk. Then she said, "I'm setting up a dating profile." I blinked. She watched my reaction closely. "You're good with words, you understand perception. I need someone objective." Objective, that was the word she used. Not young, not single, not harmless. I should have said number. Instead, curiosity pulled me in. We sat side by side at her desk, her laptop open between us like a shared secret. She hadn't uploaded photos yet, just a blank profile and a cursor blinking in accusation. "What are you looking for?" I asked. She didn't answer immediately. When she did, her voice was quieter. "Someone real, no games." I nodded, typing slowly. Every sentence felt like I was building a version of her the world would see, but one she'd never shown us. Strong, independent, curious, grounded. She read over my shoulder, corrected a word here, deleted a phrase there. We laughed on Sia briefly, unexpectedly, when an auto-generated prompt sounded nothing like her. For a moment, she wasn't my boss. She was just a woman navigating the same loneliness everyone pretends they don't feel. When we finished, she leaned back and said, "Thank you." I left her office thinking that was the end of it. It wasn't. Over the next week, she'd mention the app casually. A match here, a bad opener there. I'd nod, offer light advice, keep things professional. Until the day she stopped by my desk again. She didn't sit, didn't smile. She said my name once. Calm, controlled. "I matched with someone," she said. "Congrats." I replied, already turning back to my screen. She didn't move. "And it's you." That got my attention. I looked up, confused. "What?" She slid her phone across my desk. There it was. My face, my name, my bio, matched. My stomach dropped so fast I felt dizzy. "That's Noda," I started. "I didn't." "I know," she interrupted. "The app suggested it. Proximity, algorithms." Neither of us spoke. Office noise hummed around us like nothing had changed, like my entire reality wasn't quietly unraveling. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "Please accept it. Not delete it, not ignore it. Accept it." I searched her face for a joke, for discomfort, for regret. There was none. "Why?" I asked. She leaned in slightly, lowered her voice. "Because if you don't a broken bar, I'll always wonder, That night, the app sat open on my phone, her profile glowing back at me, familiar words, my words. I hovered over the button, accept, decline. Two choices, both wrong, both irreversible, and somewhere between logic and impulse. I realized this wasn't just about dating, it was about boundaries, about power, about what happens when two carefully controlled lives collide in a space neither of us was prepared for. My thumb trembled. I pressed accept. The screen refreshed. It's a match. And in that moment, I knew one thing for certain. Nothing about our working relationship would ever be simple again. The app didn't explode. The world didn't stop. No alarms went off. And somehow, that made it worse. The screen just sat there between us, glowing softly, confirming what we both already knew but hadn't said out loud yet. It's a match. Two simple words that carried an unreasonable amount of weight. Neither of us moved. Around us, keyboards clacked. Someone laughed near the printer. A phone rang. Normal life kept happening, completely indifferent to the fact that my boss and I were standing 3 feet apart, staring at a dating app like it had just detonated a quiet bomb. She was the first to speak. This doesn't leave this space, she said, calm, controlled, the same tone she used in board meetings when millions of dollars were on the line. I nodded, because nodding was easier than processing. This was a broken bar, unexpected. I managed. Yes, she replied, but not accidental. That stopped me. She reached over, locked her phone, and slipped it back into her pocket as if we'd just finished discussing quarterly targets instead of mutual attraction. Then she straightened. Take the rest of the day, she said. I'll see you Monday. Just like that, the conversation was over. No explanation, no follow-up, no instructions. I walked out of the office in a haze, the city air hitting me like I'd surfaced from underwater. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and not a message, not a call, just the app, still open. Still waiting. Her profile, her words, written by me. I replayed everything on the train ride home. Every look, every pause, every carefully literal sentence that now felt loaded in hindsight. Had she been curious this whole time? Had I been blind? Or worse, had I been convenient? That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, phone face down on my nightstand like it might accuse me if I looked at it too long. I kept thinking about power dynamics, about HR policies, about how badly this could end if even one thing went wrong. And then there was the quieter thought, the one I didn't want to admit. What if I wanted this too? Monday morning arrived too fast. The office felt different the second I stepped in, not because anything had changed but because I had. Every hallway felt narrower, every shared glance felt heavier. When I passed her office, the door was open. She was already inside, reviewing something on her tablet, posture flawless, expression unreadable. For a second, I wondered if I'd imagined everything. Then my phone vibrated, a message from her. Coffee. 10:30, conference room B. No emojis, no softness, pure logistics. Conference room B was the quiet one. Frosted glass, neutral chairs, no cameras. She was already there when I arrived. 2 cups on the table between us. She gestured for me to sit. This stays professional, she began, but it has to be honest. I took a breath. I agree. She slid one of the cups toward me. I didn't expect to match with you, she said, but when it happened, I realized something. I waited. I trust you, she continued, and I don't trust many people. That matters more to me than algorithms or optics. There it was. Not attraction, not impulse, trust. I don't want to complicate your career, she added. If you want out, I'll respect that completely. No consequences. That surprised me. It shouldn't have, but it did. And if I don't? I asked quietly. She held my gaze. Then we set rules. Rules again. She laid them out clearly. No favoritism. No public acknowledgement at work. Total discretion. One date. Just one. To answer the question we were both avoiding. What question? I asked. She didn't hesitate. Is this real? Or just curiosity? That night, I met her somewhere neutral, not fancy, not hidden, a small wine bar halfway between our worlds. When she walked in, She didn't look like my boss, no sharp suit, no authority armor, just a woman who could a broken bar nervous. So was I. We talked for hours, about childhood, about pressure, about loneliness that doesn't look lonely from the outside. She admitted she'd avoided dating for years because it required vulnerability she couldn't afford professionally. I don't get to be uncertain, she said. People rely on me. I understood that more than I expected. When we left, there was no dramatic kiss, no movie moment, just a pause at the door, eyes lingering a second too long. I'm glad we did this, she said. So am I replied. The next few weeks were careful, quiet, charged. Texts late at night, conversations that danced around deeper feelings without naming them. At work, nothing changed and everything did. Every meeting carried an undercurrent. Every compliment felt dangerous. Every smile lingered longer than it should. Then came the complication we didn't plan for. An internal reshuffle. New leadership. New scrutiny. HR audits. Background checks. Suddenly, discretion wasn't just smart, it was survival. One afternoon, she called me into her office again. She looked tired. They're watching, she said. Everything. My stomach dropped. Us? Potentially. Silence stretched between us. I don't regret this, she added softly. But if this puts you at risk, I'm not afraid, I said, and realized it was true. She studied me like she was seeing me clearly for the first time. Then she asked a question that shifted the ground beneath my feet. If we stop pretending this is casual, a broken bar, what happens next? I didn't answer right away, because this was no longer about a dating app or a match or curiosity. This was about whether two people used to control were willing to risk losing Ida for something real, and I wasn't sure either of us knew the answer yet.